Hey guys, what is up? It is Alex here, bringing you episode 2 of the career mode in F1 2012. Now, I actually failed to record the qualifying lap for this race weekend, but we can see we start in 17th position. I actually qualified 18th, beating all the new teams for once, which is a good thing, because in the first race I didn't. But this time I out-qualified all the new teams, but also Maldonado, out of all people, got a penalty on the grid and started, I think, 19th or 20th on the grid, and I didn't get a great start. You can see here trying to defend from the cars behind me whilst trying to find a gap ahead. You can see Hulkenberg and everyone driving really slowly into turn 1, finding a little bit of a gap down the inside, moving myself up into 13th, 12th, 11th position and getting into 10th right here. Now I know my car's about half a second off the pace of some of the back cars like the Force India and the Williams, and I also know that I'm about a second or so slower on myself as a driver, but finding positions through here, really lucky I didn't get a corner cut there. Really lucky that I found the space as well. But I found here, this was the best position I could really get up to, and it was pretty much just really from now on, it's just a train of people following me to the end. And you can see here Schumacher gets past after I run wide, and from this point on it's really just sort of a train behind me and people just following me throughout the whole race. And I still don't know why I'm so slow, and I've got it on Legend. I'm going to try as hard as I can to keep up with the AI, and hopefully over the next couple of races I will get onto their pace. My aim is to be on the same sort of race pace and qualifying pace as Daniel Ricciardo, but if I can't do that, I'm just going to keep pushing and hopefully I can get some lucky turn 1s and turns 2s and 3s like I did in this race. But I don't think we've had any R&Ds as of yet in the start of this race career as Toro Rosso. First couple of races seem to be pretty standard, really not having the pace to keep up with my teammate or really anybody in the sort of main pack of the field. But luckily having some lucky turn 1s and having some lucky races really meant I could get up here into the sort of the business end of the field of the race. And you can see I just really hold these guys back quite well throughout the whole race, and obviously no I don't have the pace, but I think I did pretty well to hold them back. I didn't really have any crashes. There were a couple bits of contact, but really no bits where I was taking them out to make sure that I was ahead, and I wanted to make sure that I didn't do that in this race. And you can see the yellow dot on the minimap is my teammate, so I've distanced him a little bit, but I'd say on pure race pace I probably am still about half a second slower than him. And if I let all these cars go out through the race, I'd say I still probably would have been about, I don't know, 10 seconds behind my teammate. I'm not really too sure, it's hard to tell. But as you can see, I did start on the Prime tyres, I think it's the hard compound. You can see it's like the grey texture on the tyres. I started with them as I did in Australia. For me, the race strategy really wasn't very good. I came in about lap 6 or 7, I think, in this race, really a bit too early, and by the end of the race my option tyres had gone completely off, and really it meant that I was struggling towards the end, and I really just had a horrible strategy. And I really need to get sort of these strategies fixed out, because it's a huge point about the whole race. And you can see I've moved up to 5th now as other cars have pitted, and I think one car got trapped in the little train behind me, and I can see here I absolutely fail the exit, or the entry to the pit lane, and sliding about everywhere. And my intention here was to get out ahead of Rosberg, and you can see here it kind of goes a bit down here. You can see there, I think it's the Ferrari garage, there's the Mercedes garage, this is the Force India garage, then Sauber, then here we go, Toro Rosso, and I think we've got another team just in front of us, which is probably Williams. There we go, I think it was past the Maldonado coming in the pits, and we had to be held behind Rosberg, and we got out just ahead of Massa, so that was a good thing. But we did get out in an 8th position or so, and that wasn't too bad. And then if we move on a lap or so, we're ahead of Kobayashi and Rosberg. Rosberg back in the later on in that lap. And this is when my tyres really start to go off, lap 11 or 14, and you can see my pace is barely faster than I was on the Prime tyres, and really bad strategy call from me meant that I was really hung out to dry at the end of the race. I mean, look at that, Kobayashi's just sailing past. I think by the end of the race he was like 10-15 seconds ahead of me, and just in 3 laps that is just way too much, and I need to sort this out. I need to make sure I can get my pace a little better. I need to practice more on this game, because Lots of people have been saying the pro difficulty on this game is like the legend difficulty in F1 2011, and even though I'm sort of not really on the pace of these cars, I want to stick on legendary. Hopefully I can learn some things throughout this race, and you know, hopefully if I get into some battles I can sort of learn where the AI are fast and slow, because I've sort of found out in the first sector I'm actually quite fast at the circuit. I actually went purple in sector 1 in qualifying, and then sector 2 I was sort of about a second or so off, so throughout 1 and 2 I was about equal with sort of the Toro Rossos and the Force Indias. But in sector 3 I lost 1.5 seconds, which is mind-boggling, because the last sector of this track and Australia really should be the sectors where I'm doing well in the Toro Rosso. It's a place where I should have good straight line speed. There's 2 straights in the exit, or the last sector of this track, so technically I really should be quite fast. And there's this bit here which really requires a bit of downforce, but apart from here, it's really not, you don't really need much downforce, and the Toro Rosso doesn't have much downforce, so yeah, it's a little bit weird that in the last sectors that I'm losing so much time. I don't know whether it's a glitch. I think it could be a little bit of a glitch. They are quite fast in the last sector, but who knows, who knows. It's I'm going to have to live with it until they might patch it. We never know. There are quite a lot of glitches on this game at the moment. You might have seen a couple of them on my channel already, but yeah guys, that is the exit of the race, or the last lap of the race, what I meant to say. Beating Maldonado to the line very, very briefly, and we actually got 8th position, so 4 points, and Ricciardo finishing 23rd, so a poor result for Toro Rosso in that aspect, but getting some points on the board for me wasn't too bad. I know I didn't have the pure pace, as you can see here, 41.1, 41.7 even, so like 3 seconds a lap slower than Kobayashi, so a bit disappointing, yes, but you can see I was on pure pace. I was faster than Petrov, and you can see I don't know who got a clear lap in, like Senna or so. I was still about a second a lap slower than them, so a bit disappointing that my pace is so far off. But when we get into the menus, we can see the standings for the race. Toro Rosso happy with my result. I'm not sure that I went into that weekend thinking I was going to get 8th position, but really happy that I actually got the result in the end. I know I didn't have it on pure pace, but just happy I got some points on the board, which means hopefully later on in the career I might have a chance of moving on to a bigger team. So nearly at rank 2 in the career, and you can see we are 11th in the championship with 4 points, so not really too bad. Past Maldonado in 10th, Rosberg, Schumacher, Kobayashi, Button. Then we got at the top Vettel, Webber, Hamilton and Grosjean, second place, 1 point behind the leader Fernando Alonso. So that's quite cool that it's quite realistic at the top. It's, you know, they've got all those sort of guys at the top. And yeah, Glock losing, oh not losing, Glock is last. That's a bit weird, but yeah guys, that is pretty much it. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and hope you all have a wonderful day. Remember to subscribe if you're not already also, because that's a nice thing. But thanks guys for watching, hope you all have a wonderful day. It's been Alex and Madib. Bye.